to, yeah, it just simply isn't, because all of them are, very few of them that I interviewed were traditional athletes in any way, sort of traditional sport athletes. And so I think they all see this success and feel this tremendous empowerment from success, from their fitness and from their bodybuilding. And as such, this wave of positivity tends to come off of all of them. And so that led me to Naked Women, and that was all fine for me.
Well, I'll tell you, I too, and I failed to mention this earlier, I have been a bodybuilder and a fitness competitor, and I've had photo shoots done when I was in my elite condition. And the interesting thing about that journey is, you're right, you do lose that consciousness of your body. Is normally we're scared to let anything be exposed, but when you are under such extremes like the dieting process to bodybuilding, and you're back there and your swimsuit is barely an eye patch, which needs to be glued onto areas that you wouldn't normally allow anybody to touch. When you're back there and you're amongst all those fellow athletes, they have to do crazy things like I said, they glue your suit on to places that normally wouldn't even be able to hold it. And even better yet, things like we have to apply oil before we go out on stage. And the oil, believe it or not, is Pam cooking spray. So you're back there,
surrounded by butter.
Surrounded by Pam cooking spray. And God forbid, should somebody pick the wrong kind and bring in the butter-flavored popcorn Pam cooking spray, you have all these starving animals back there, angry.
Yeah.
Who brought the buttered-flavored Pam cooking spray?
Yeah, I thought it was one of the coolest places I've ever been. I like backstage in general, whether it be at music events or plays or theater or any of that sort of stuff. And that was a whole different sort of vibe. I learned so much and grew in respect for these dudes and women massively. So we're going to play a song now, and we'll come back and do some serious stuff.
For as long as you are here on this earth, I feel alive. Make it so it shakes your heart, nice and slow. But can you let it go? And you feel like fall away, and you have no fear, and you let it go. Just let it go. And you feel like fall away, and you have.
And that was DJ Tiesto, and the song was Here on Earth. We're going to return to my talk, and I welcome you to visit the website at www.exerciseauthorities.com or send me a message at questions@exerciseauthorities.com.
Okay, so we're back, and now we're going to close the show with a little bit of seriousness from Kristy. So you wanted to talk a little bit about training mistakes.
Yeah, obviously I train in a public gym as well as my private studio. A lot of things that I see or a lot of questions I get are from guys and gals. They have specific areas where they really want to, improve themselves. And women especially will oftentimes want to reduce their waistline and trim their inner thighs. And I see a lot of common mistakes with that, is that women will go to the inner thigh machine or they'll think Thigh Master, and they'll be exercising the heck out of their inner thighs. But little do they realize that by training that muscular area through intense resistance, they actually cause that muscle to respond in a way that oftentimes will add inches rather than take off inches. The thing about it is the waistline, we carry a little extra body fat. Inner thigh areas, there's a little extra body fat. And what they essentially want to do is reduce the body fat. So the problem in that lies is it's not exercising the muscle. The muscle is not the problem. It's the fact of the body fat lying over the top of the muscle. And the way that we can work at the body fat is through means of proper nutrition and burning off a couple extra calories. Now, we're not necessarily going to burn off those calories by specifically targeting those muscles in those areas. How you can do that is just simply increase some cardiovascular exercise. Guys, on the other hand, they a lot of times, they're training the heck out of their biceps, working their chest to no end, and then you see them and they kind of look like Mighty Mouse. Real big upper body, and then they have not paid any attention whatsoever to their lower body. In all reality, if guys would spend a little bit more time training their lower body, they'd end up gaining a little bit of muscle in the legs. And not only that, with the intensity of training the lower body, there's a huge metabolic boost that occurs that most guys miss out on because they're training smaller muscle groups with more intensity. So those are a couple of common mistakes, and I have a million more that I'll mention in future shows. But just thought that it might be interesting for you guys to realize that exercise is not always going to do what you think it's going to do. There really is a very specific science to it. And having a professional kind of lay out a plan for you is worth months spent in the gym. Because somebody like me can say, if we have specific things that we need to work on with you, I can help you to understand it through educating you rather than just giving you a plan that you read off of the internet and then you take to the gym, or something you're going to read in a magazine that does not factor in all the various elements or body types. And then you end up frustrated because you're trying to work on something, you're thinking you're going to get a result, and in the end, you're not getting ahead. Sometimes you're setting yourself back.
Absolutely. That's important to realize that, training something makes it larger or smaller, and you need to focus on knowing something before you just jump in. So, Kristy, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
The various ways to get a hold of me are by phone. You can call my private studio at 715-849-3000, or you can email me at questions@exerciseauthorities.com, or better yet, you can stop in at 530 McClellan Street. That's on the corner of 6th and McClellan. My business, the Salon, Spa, and Fitness Studio. Or maybe you'll get lucky and you'll see me doing one of my workouts in one of the random places within Wausau. One of the latest things that I'm doing is I'm starting to practice workouts that are body weight specific, and I'm doing them at various locations throughout the city.
That's great. Okay, so you'll be back next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday, 5 p.m. till 6 p.m. at WNRB LP Wausau.